For the second day running, schools in the country remained deserted as teachers made good their threat to continue with the strike until all their demands are met. A spot check by Ktns showed that no learning was taking place across the nation. This, as the giant union NAT showed no indication of changing its position.
The strike continues until we have a proper settlement.
With NAT firm on their stand, a blame game ensued in Parliament. The Ministry of Finance was on the hot seat as legislators sought answers over the decision to redirect funds intended for hiring new teachers.
As budget committee, we did agree, we got money, we told the Minister for Finance, here is the money. Employ 18,000 teachers who are on contract on permanent terms and employ additional 10,000. What the minister did was to later on, even after the report has already been adopted by the House, was to later on come up and tell us there is no money for teachers, but there is money for defense.
Why are we arguing? What are we arguing about? The government should be standing up and saying, yes, they'll give 5 billion to teachers as agreed.
We want to give notice to this government. Appropriation bill, finance bill, we are going to defeat it if you don't pay teachers. Get the 4 billion you stole from the Ministry of Education to pay our teachers.
Finance Minister Uhuru Kenyatta, however, went on the defensive, saying intense negotiations had been held between Treasury, education stakeholders and the Budget Committee, apparently agreeing to employ intern teachers, and that at no time did the ministry commit itself to employing teachers on permanent basis.
We had a signed agreement, which I have here, which we signed with both KUPPET and Kenya National Union of Teachers last year, Mr. Speaker, where, having understood the problems that we are faced with, they agreed that we could hire teachers on contract.
The minister also defended his ministry's decision to reallocate 5.5 billion shillings to the Ministry of Defence, saying the 4-year cycle for pay review in the military was due. He also defended reallocating money from the education kitty for drought.
We were faced with a huge challenge, Mr. Speaker, of drought in this country. And I informed them, Mr. Speaker, that the government and cabinet sat down and we said this is an urgent situation that we had to deal with.
However, government has a contingency fund which should ideally deal with emergencies such as drought. The same contingency fund which Treasury allowed Parliament to tap into to compensate themselves for paying tax. On its part, the Ministry of Education maintains they need more time to effectively deal with the situation.
At this stage, my request would be the teachers will do very well and embrace dialogue.
Until an agreement is reached, however, the stalemate continues. On one hand, NAT is determined to continue on with the strike until all of their demands are met, with no signs of room for negotiation. On the other hand, the Ministries of Finance and Education say they need more time. In the meantime, parents and pupils continue to suffer for a problem they had nothing to do with. Edith, Kimani, KTN Prime.